Welcome to Smart Finance Talks.
So, have you ever felt like the whole global economic map is just shifting under our feet?
Definitely. It feels that way because it is that way. It touches pretty much everything.
Yeah, your investments, international relations, the work.
Exactly. And we're really in this period of, significant realignment globally.
Okay.
And the core of it, really, is the dynamic between the U.S. and China. That's the main event, you could say.
Right. Okay, so let's unpack this then. We're doing a deep dive today into that U.S.-China trade relationship and what it all means for, global power down the road. We want to pull out the key changes, maybe guess at some outcomes.
And figure out what it means for you listening in. We're drawing on trade analysis perspectives from people like Ray Dalio.
Yeah, Dalio's perspective is interesting.
It is. And one of the most fundamental shifts to grasp is in trade itself.
How so?
Well, for ages, the U.S. was the top trading partner for, most countries.
Sure.
But that's changed. Now, China holds that position for a huge number of nations. It's flipped.
Right, that's a massive change.
And this shift, this is really the engine behind the intense trade conflict we're seeing.
Yeah.
It's the root cause.
Okay, and this connects to Ray Dalio's ideas, doesn't it?
It does. Dalio, the investor, he has this theory about rising powers.
Yeah.
Historically, he argues, powers first get big in trade. They dominate trade routes, become the biggest player.
Okay.
And then often their currency starts to gain ground, potentially becoming the global reserve currency.
So if that pattern holds, what does that mean for the US dollar? Could it lose its top spot?
That's the potential implication he points to, a challenge for the dollar's status, which would, impact US influence globally, big time.
Wow. Okay. But the dollar is still dominant, right? Even with big trade deficits.
That's the other side of the coin, and it's crucial. Yes, despite those deficits, the dollar remains incredibly strong.
Why is that?
Two main reasons, really. Stability and liquidity. It seems stable, and it's incredibly easy to buy, sell, trade. It's liquid.
Okay. Stability and liquidity.
Right. And if you think bigger picture, the depth of U.S. financial markets, especially for things like treasury bonds, that provides this massive liquidity.
And that matters beyond just finance.
Absolutely. It underpins the U.S.'s ability to fund itself, even its military presence worldwide. It's more than just economic output numbers.
So China's economy is huge, growing fast. But replacing the dollar isn't straightforward. What are the roadblocks for them?
Well, a big one is currency convertibility. For the renminbi, China's currency, to be a true global reserve currency, it needs to be fully convertible. Money needs to flow freely in and out. China still has capital controls.
So that limits how much others can or want to use it and trust it globally.
Exactly. Plus, there are underlying political factors in China that affect how quickly they might make the necessary financial reforms. It's complicated.
So it sounds like we're not really looking at, say, China completely taking over from the U.S. anytime soon.
The most likely scenario isn't one winner takes all. It's probably more like a move towards a multipolar world.
Multipolar, meaning?
Think of it like three major economic hubs or export clusters taking shape: China, Europe, and the U.S.
Okay.
But it's unlikely any single one achieves total global dominance, like the U.S. had, perhaps, in the past.
Right, a more complex picture. And the consequences of that shift, what should we be watching?
Well, the impacts are broad. It affects global trade patterns, where investment flows, how currencies relate to each other.
Everything, basically.
Pretty much. And while the dollar faces these, long-term questions about its dominance, it is still the main reserve currency.
For now.
And the analysis suggests China isn't about to become the single global superpower just yet.
Okay, so summing up, the global economic order is definitely changing. It's a big transformation.
Yeah.
The U.S. and China are vying for influence, and it's pushing us towards a more complex, maybe messier, multipolar world.
That's a good way to put it. And predictions differ. You have Dalio suggesting potentially rapid shifts.
Right.
But then you have the current reality of the dollar's strength. But the underlying reshaping, that's happening. It's real, and it will keep affecting global systems.
So here's something to chew on for everyone listening. Thinking beyond the big headlines, beyond the economic charts, how might this evolving global power game, this shift, affect your future in ways maybe you haven't considered? Your own choices, opportunities, worth thinking about.
Thanks for watching this episode of Smart Finance Talks. We hope the insights on global trade and economic power dynamics have sparked new thoughts on the future of finance. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you're always in the loop with our latest videos. Stay tuned for more discussions, expert analyses, and financial trends that shape the world we live in. See you in the next episode.